Good morning, or evening, or afternoon, Divine Femmes. This is going to be your step 2. And recognize, dear masculines, when you come across this video, that means that it is time for you to practice it too. Because we both learn both sides. And karmics, as you come across this also, if you're not at a place where you're ready to practice this, that's fine. If you are, good. Let's journey into it together. So, step 2 is beginning the process of really learning and integrating unconditional love. And we're all going to find our own ways to this, because there's definitely toxic unconditional love and divine unconditional love, because most of us are coming out of situations where we were in a kind of toxic sort of unconditional love, a codependency, where we were not unconditionally loving ourselves. We were giving everything, all that we had in our cups to others. We just dumped them out all over the floor, hoping that the person that we believed to be our match would start giving back if we just loved them unconditionally, in the sense of like, I'll accept you, I'll fight with you, I'll stay with you. It's more that last one, I'll stay with you no matter what, good or bad or fight or flight, I will stay with you. But that's more of a forcefulness. It's more of a avoidance. And there's a difference in that kind of unconditional love, in the no matter how much you hurt me, I'll stay with you kind of unconditional love, and the kind of unconditional love that is like a gardener growing flowers. You plant the seed and you know that it is going to be what it was meant to be, a flower. And you know that there will be many expected and unexpected pleasant surprises, and some unpleasant ones like aphids and bugs or bee stings. But you know that the bees bring, what the flowers need to grow. And you plant those flowers not knowing whether or not they will grow crooked or have multiple heads or not grow at all or need more water than the instructions said that they would, or if some little mole will come and uproot them. You don't know. But you plant them knowing that it's going to be a wonderful journey and that you will find joy in whatever manifests from planting that seed, and you accept that flower as it grows. You get excited as the first little leaves pop up, and you enjoy it as it goes through its cycles and as it grows, and then you know that it's getting old and it's going to die. You plan to plant another seed and do it again. That's the unconditional love, that divine partnership grows. And that starts with self-acceptance, the unconditional love of the self. Which, by the way, fellow divine femmes, I know that many of us have been raised to believe that the most attractive quality is being one who is always in a good mood, or always cooking and cleaning and doing all things and working jobs and never saying no and saying, oh, I will love you as you are. But that really, it's a form of control and it's a shadow. What's really most attractive is being able to look at your partner and say, I love myself. I am responsible for how I feel. And I make myself happy. I accept myself enough with humility that I know that whenever we are together, I can choose to be happy in each of these moments. I can remove you from the equation even when you are not in alignment with your inner being, because I have learned how to see that in myself and love myself unconditionally. And because I've learned that, I have learned how to transmute conflict into contrast and resistance into ease. Because I learned self-acceptance and self-worth and self-love. And I learned that you and everyone else around me reflect that. They reflect back to me how I feel. And I no longer will make you responsible for my happiness, because I no longer want a transactional love where I only love you when you are pleasing me, and you only love me when you feel like you're getting your needs met. Like that sort of unconditional love is the most attractive quality. When you have standards, when your fence is just the right height so that not just anybody can walk over it anytime they like, but tall enough that you allow others to peek in because you don't mind them seeing what you have in your garden, and you have gates and doorways that you let people in. You're not worried about who might come and pick a flower or two, but you feel worthy of having enough security around it that nobody can come in and just stomp all over everything. And you know that Spirit's got your back, so you don't need to be like a doomsday prepper about your garden, right? But yes, self-acceptance, Divine Femmes. Give yourself that unconditional love. Take some divine baths and meditate. Think about who it is that you have always wanted to be. Think about all the ways that you have felt misrepresented as either an unkind person or not trustworthy or not dependable, and really, examine where you have not been. But think about all the things, all the times that you have felt like who you really are is not who you've been acting like, or not who others have seen, and sit down and think about the ways that you can become that person and validate it for yourself. And don't worry about whether or not anyone else sees it, because when you no longer worry about whether anyone else sees who you really are, they actually see who you really are. That's the funny thing, and it's a message that I will keep repeating. What you need will not materialize before you till you no longer need it anymore. And once you don't need it anymore, you will get it in abundance because you just want it, and that's how it is. So treat this step 2 in a similar way. Go through your process of needing. Well, you already are in the process. You're that's where you are. That's why your relationships are out of place right now, because you need self-acceptance. You need to love yourself unconditionally. You need to work on self-care. So get to that point to where you don't need to, because you want to. Because you want to love yourself, because you find joy and gratitude and pleasure in it, because it's fun. And then you'll have it. And then you'll have an attractive quality that a large part of this world, well, they will have it, but they're behind the times if you can get it now. All right, everybody. These videos are, an absurd experiment, so please let me know if at any time they don't make sense, or more detail would be nice. And remember that I have an easy coaching scale of Donation and tribute only. Alright, everybody, make sure to think of what you're grateful for today, and I'll see you in the next video.